If I'm not mistaken, you're talking about the Barbary slave trade. Barbers were Arab pirates who were inhabiting North Africa, along the coast of Morocco down to Libya. They preyed on European coastal settlements and ships, often capturing the crews of these ships and taking them to port cities in Morocco and Algeria. Now, the men that were sold into slavery were made to work quarries or row boats, and they were treated as you would expect a slave in this time to be treated. Bread and water for a meal, one set of clothes, sometimes often dying while in their positions of labor. The women were often taken to harems and often were continuously abused during their time there. Now, at this time, Spain was becoming pretty powerful because of its grip over the Americas. Spain had been united under the ruling of Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella, following their expelling of the last remnants of Muslim power when they took Granada. Now, most of these Muslims and Jews that were expelled moved to North Africa and took up piracy. Now, this resulted in collaborations between the Barbary pirates and the Ottoman Empire to combat the Spanish. Now, during this time, it was a very common practice for these captured European Christians to convert to Islam, thus gaining their freedom from slavery. Some slaves, after converting and gaining their freedom, were able to secure high positions in society and even positions of power, especially in the naval forces. You see, at this time, during this type of slavery, it was 100% possible to climb the social ladder, even after having been a slave. In the late 1570s, the Ottoman Empire and the Spanish signed a truce, resulting in less hostility between them. During this time, the Ottoman coastal states had gained more freedom from Constantinople. This meant that the Barbary pirates' goals went from political goals to socio-economical gain. That meant an increase in slavery, leading to an increase of raids. So Islamic law claimed that slavery should only be carried out on non-Muslims, and only in such conditions like war. It's likely that these Barbary pirates likely saw the enslavement of European Christians as a way to gain wealth, and this is highlighted by the fact that a growing number of European pirates traveled to the Barbary coast to partake in the slave trade and to secure their fortunes, specifically the English and the Dutch. Now, when thousands of Europeans began to voluntarily join the Barbary pirates, they brought with them knowledge of the naval forces from their countries. This resulted in European navies developing ships that were far more protected from attacks. By the 18th century, European countries with powerful navies forced peace among the Barbary coast. And in 1798, with the arrival of Napoleon to North Africa, European dominance was forced. By 1830, the British, the French, and the US had put an end to the Barbary slave trade. That slavery was not generational, nor was it based on race.